Welcome to the pivot. I'm glad that y'all are on time. Prompt. A prompt group coming in. I appreciate that. I would never. But good on y'all. Yo, my standard arrival time is plus or minus 7 minutes. But
Meanwhile, I'll be like trying to get everywhere and do everything like an hour early. Like, please, because I just being late, I'm anxiety stricken.
okay, see, anxiety did not hit me. I got a lot of other problems. Anxiety was not one of them,
Not fun.
thankfully. So like I worked with some folks and they would have like prompt meetings, right? And so I wouldn't be in that meeting at like 8:03, the 8 o'clock meeting. They're like, "Are you coming?" I'm like, "It's 8:03. You know I don't get here till like
Yeah.
8:07." And then they'd be like talking about their cats. And I'm like, I did not need to be here. One, I don't have a cat. Two, I don't need to be in this conversation. I could have been 8:07 because they spent like the next 20 minutes talking about nothing. It's why? Why are we here? Thank you all for joining in. We're, as usual, going to give about like a good 10 minutes for people to stroll in. But while you do this, um, gonna set some dates that I have on a flashcard because I gotta read things. Tomorrow, August 20th, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I live in LA, so I'd always hates it like hurts my spirit to give Eastern time zones. 7 p.m. Eastern time. Our Black Podcasters Association monthly kickback is happening in the community. If you're not a member of the community, go to blackpodcastersassociation.com. It's free 99 for now. And come hang out with some Black podcasters. Go meet some new friends if you don't have any friends. It's a great way to get some free friends. Come hang out with us for a couple hours. Looking at September 14th, that's a Monday, is our next podcast pull up. That's our Ask Me Anything conversations. If you have any podcasting questions, that's the place you can go and ask them. Usually Twyla shows up in that chat and answers all your questions. So go get some free Twyla advice. She usually charges people for that. So go get that. And then September 17th will be our September monthly kickback at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So mark those down on your calendar so you can't say I didn't tell you because I did. And I'm excited. Lisa is all up in the chat. Dominic just joined. Look at that. See, Dominic and I on the same schedule. That's how I know.
Yeah, that's funny.
6 minutes after. The 6 minute after people are my people. So all of you coming in 6 minutes after, y'all are my people. Y'all are people. I'm here with this is Ashley J. Hobbs. I hope y'all have met Ashley. If not, y'all are in for a treat tonight. Because Ashley stays inside. And off the internet. So
I do.
I love your face. Like, I really do, y'all. I really don't talk to nobody.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
No,
out.
the internet messy. The internet messy. Stay off the internet. There's nothing good happening on it. I'm super excited. But we're gonna give people like 3 more minutes. So if you have friends and they're not online or in this conversation, I don't know, what do people do? Text, call, get on your landline and give them a call. Ashley was very kind at the Black Writers Weekend in April. Okay, you were kind. Shout out to you.
Oh, yay. Yes. That was a good time in Newark. Yeah, that was a good time. My bad.
Please let us know the times Ashley weren't kind in the chat, so I can write them down for posterity.
No, please don't do that. I just
Ashley
gotta
was mean to me at Kava the other day, and so
Kava is crazy. Wow.
yo, do y'all have Kava back east? I don't know. Don't eat lettuce, y'all. Don't go on the internet and tell people that I told y'all to eat lettuce and then, have digestional issues and then be in my emails. That's not my fault. It's on you.
That is hilarious.
Return back from NABJ. Congratulations to going to NABJ. Hopefully you met up with I think Al Pete was down there. Mr. Al Pete, one of the Jacksonville podcasters from Jacksonville, Florida. He was also at NABJ. But I hope y'all had fun at NABJ. I don't leave LA. It's expensive to leave LA. So my mortgage is too high to be leaving my house. So for those of you who don't have high mortgages or enjoy being outside, congratulations to leaving. I'm so excited for you. And good job representing outside. Streets are scary. Ashley is dope. Oh, hi, Adele. Adele's here. Adele never does anything. This is how you know you are in a good place. Adele don't even show up to nothing when I ask her to show up to things.
Oh,
Um,
dang, and I owe you a phone call, Adele. I did forget, but not anymore. That's
I did I appreciate you all, like, calling Ashley a chat. Now she has, like, a list of things she has to do. We're not even started, like, the formal conversation yet, and she's got a whole list of people she has to reach out to. So, thank you all for holding her to task. See, she didn't sign up for none of this. Don't none
not
of
at
y'all.
all, at all.
Yeah, parenting is real. Shout out to those of you raising tiny humans in this hellscape. Um, because I couldn't do it. All I have is a one-eyed dog, and she's stressful. So, there's that. Uh, look, just look, she raises my pressure and everything, and y'all have children? Absolutely not. Like, kudos to you, the future, whatever Whitney said. Uh, but I can't. Also, Adele's in the chat. Adele's one of my favorite human beings, so I'm super excited just to have Adele here, hanging out in the chat. As I always say, I can't read and talk at the same time. I went to school out here in LA, so y'all are just lucky that I'm reading in general. Um, so if I miss your question, I'm sorry. If it's super important, Lisa will text it to me, and I'll read it eventually. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Pivot, presented by Black Podcasters Association, powered by Black Pod News. There's a lot of words I'm supposed to say. I'm super excited to talk to Ashley. I'm one of your faves too. I love it. Talk to Ashley J. Hobbs, producer, audiobook narrator, writer. I don't know your sign yet. I feel like I should. Uh, what's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
I knew it. I was gonna guess it. You and Twyla, both y'all. And Aries, which is fine. It's fine. We ain't gonna hold it against her. If you don't know who I am, my name is Crystal Hill. I'm your 14th most tolerated podcast provocateur, and we are gonna have a conversation today. Like I say, Ashley, because I know you've never watched any of these conversations, I don't hold it against you, because like, what is time? I hate intros personally. So I'm gonna let you tell people what you feel is most important to know about you. I might fill in the blanks later. Oh, March or April Aries is important. Uh, you can answer that in your intro about yourself, and then we're just gonna have a fun conversation. We're gonna have a fun conversation. I love Ashley so bad, y'all.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yes, Ashley Hobbs, Ashley J. Hobbs. I have to put the J in there because there is a Playboy playmate whose name is Ashley Hobbs. Put the J in my name. So look, I got some pictures to my email one time, and I was like, wait. That's not who I am. So yeah, I am a podcast producer. As Crystal said, I narrate audiobooks. You might have heard one of the big ones this year, Kin by Terry Jones. I co-narrated that with Angel Peen. Really loved that. And it is blowing up and I'm very grateful. So shout out to everybody who listened. Um, and I am also a writer. I have a few short stories that have been published, and I am working on a magical realism novel. So I do a few different things to make sure that I am not destitute.
Look, oh, my destitute is wild. Because Ashley also lives in some place that's expensive. Um, but you
Oh, and
March or
April.
April?
I'm an April Aries. Yes.
April Aries.
Yeah.
Okay. The other Ashley Hobbs is a March Aries. That's how you know the difference. So Ashley Hobbs without the J, March Aries. Ashley J Hobbs, April Aries, y'all. That's how you keep them. That's how you keep them separated. It's very important you know the difference. So just make sure y'all know. Make sure y'all know the difference. I'm so that's wild. One day we might share the emails. Oh, destitute is a fun word. I love destitute. Before becoming a podcast producer, because Ashley started early, right?
No. I mean, compared to when podcasting really like started for
I
me.
was gonna say before.
I got started in 2018. I was like
Yeah,
just doing things for free on podcasts in 2018. And then I started working at Essence when they had a podcast network. So that was like the real beginning, I would say, is 2019. Yeah, with Essence.
I love Essence so bad. This is the 3rd time I think we've mentioned Essence Network in these conversations because people don't understand. Y'all gotta understand how Essence operated as a network because you had, like, loudspeakers for, like, the longest, and then finally Essence was like, "We're gonna build a network," and it
Yeah.
lasted, like, a year, and then and then they're like, "Just kidding,"
Yep.
and,
It,
um didn't exist anymore, but, like, had these really great producers and people who went to do, like, really amazing things in podcasting, um, one of which I hope to get soonish, in addition to one right here. And, like, Twyla was gonna do things with Essence, and it was just like, Essence was gonna be huge, and then there was just like, "The money ain't here."
yeah.
Um, but before podcasting, because you didn't go to school to do this,
No.
right?
Mm-mm. I went to school. I got a communications degree. Um, and I was gonna be a journalist until I walked across the stage and got my degree and was like, "Oh, I don't wanna be a journalist." Don't know what's about to happen now. That was crazy. No, that literally happened as I was walking across the stage. I was like, "Oh, mm-mm." Um, and I was just bouncing around doing a bunch of random stuff. So I worked in higher education for a while, got fired because I wasn't good at it. Just to be honest, like real honest, wasn't good at it. Um, I taught in higher ed. I was an adjunct, and I taught English, and that was cool. Um, then I worked in what do you call it? What do you call it? Ed tech. Yes, I worked in ed tech, but it was anyway. I worked in ed tech, got fired from that job, but it was not my fault that time. Don't know what happened there. Still, that was 2017. Still trying to figure that out. But it wasn't my fault. And at that point, I said to myself, "Self, you're supposed to be working in a creative field and you keep doing all this other stuff because you're trying to fit into something that like your family will understand and they'll get behind you about it, but you got to figure out what you actually really want to do." Um, so I took my little unemployment and I just started trying things. So at the time I was living in DC, I was taking a television production course in DC on Tuesday nights. And I had forgotten that I applied for an advertising production fellowship in New York City. I got that at the same time. So Tuesday nights, I was in DC, had a TV production class for 8 weeks. And then I would have to drive home to be in New York on Wednesday nights. And I did that did that for 8 weeks. Um, Realized I didn't want to do either one of those at the time, but I was just trying to find where I was supposed to be. Then somehow I met Anthony Frazier and like let him know like, "Hey, I think I'm interested in podcasting. I want to, you know, learn more about podcasting. So if you have anything coming up, I would love to shadow you, da da da." He was helping to produce for Essence at the time, and he asked me to come and be his production assistant. I said yes, came, and I met the whole crew. So Tiffany Ashite, met Corey Murray, Charlie Penn, like that whole crew. And from there, was doing a little bit more freelance work for them. And then, and it's so funny that I'm having this conversation tonight because literally this morning, I went back and screenshot the email where Tiffany Ashite asked me in 2019, "Hey, are you only interested in freelance or do you want a full-time job?" And I was like, "I would love a full-time job." I screenshot that and sent it to her this morning because I was like, "This is the email that started it all for real." So, and I was just telling her like, "Thank you so much because she has been a blessing to so many people in the podcast industry." Um, so yeah, that's where it started for me. Like Essence was the true start of me like learning how to podcast, but there was a bunch of stuff before that. Retail, everything. I thought I was gonna go back to school for social work, and then I was like, "What? Never mind." You know what I mean? Like what?
It's like,
So
I don't
yeah.
wanna help people like that. Let me go on and slide out. Don't care about y'all's problems like that much. Uh, Although there was so many things in there and so many people you mentioned that I know that people might not know, so I'm gonna reverse for all y'all throwing names in the chat.
Yeah.
Anthony Frazier, who owns ABF Creative, who's done things like Adventures of Cairo that you might know. He's big in the kids podcasting space.
Oh,
Um, and so when I yell at y'all, because I do like to yell at people, um, it helps my spirit. It's good for my heart. That's why, I gotta do it now. It's doctor's orders. Um, does a lot of doctor's orders now. Who does a lot of kids podcasting. So like when we talk about Essence and like why you need to know why Essence was important, it's because of all these people who came out of Essence, even though it was such like a small footprint, and like when it started in like the podcasting timeline. And
Yeah,
Tiffany Ashite, like the dopest person who
so
just moves so quietly in the space. I call her the conqueror of the Americas for ACAST. You can look up her real title. You can Google it. Um, like really just moves and helps people and just does it without asking for anything in return.
yeah,
And has helped put so many people on. Uh, and it's just like amazing like how many people like started there, worked together, and like this is why I always tell people like you got to meet people in podcasting. It's
yeah,
like your skill will get you there. Like you have to have some skill. Like if y'all don't have some skill, like it's unfortunate. Get some skill. Uh, actually, try not to laugh because she's not as mean as I am. Uh, this is the difference between LA and the East Coast. Uh, actually, like don't tell these babies they don't got no skill. Um, get some skill, but like you got to meet people, like and the people that you work with are who you will continue to work with when they realize like who you are in the space. Um, and those relationships keep carrying you for like years to come, like years to come. And also the ones that you meet that you don't like, and those instances will also hold you uh, in perpetuity for years to come. Because podcasting is big, but it's small. Oh, it's small.
yeah,
Uh, just
yeah.
just suck on your teeth real quick. Um, and I think like I remember when you and I met. You might not. I remember. Uh, and which is hilarious because my memory is garbage. It was Afros and Audio, like 2022, I want to say, maybe 2021, in
Yeah,
Philly, whenever Philly was.
yep,
And I remember like our first conversation. I think it was you, me. I think Tiff was there. I think Adele was at this table. We all went to lunch.
yes, yep.
We had
Remember
the like the corporate people lunch, uh, and we had like a really interesting conversation. I remember at that table there was a, black celebrity controversy that happened recently, and I had some inside, scoopage, and I'm like, "Look, if this leaves this table, I know one of y'all ain't trustworthy." Yeah, and Adele was there, and
remember
then
that.
never left the table, and that's how I knew these were my people,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's how I knew, and I just, like I've been following your work since that, and, like, um, I don't even think Ashley did her scope of work justice in her intro, which I love personally. Uh, I do. Look, you've worked on a lot of things,
Oh, then yeah, okay, yes, yeah. Oh,
right?
wait, you want me to, like, run down okay, that makes
I don't
sense.
want you to run it down. I always find it interesting when people decide to mention what they don't decide to mention, like me personally. Because I'm like, I know you have it memorized because you have to say it enough, but like shows that you might not know Ashley has done. Uh, you worked on all of when Jamel Hill was on Spotify, you worked on all those shows, right?
Yeah, so there were 2 shows, that we were allowed to get off there was one show we were allowed to get off the ground.
I'm dead.
Jamel's show already existed, so yes, I came on board and I was helping to produce her show, Jamel Hill is Unbothered, but then there was also a show that we built, called Sanctified, and that was a really cool show dealing with Black women and our, like, our interaction with, like, spirituality and faith and all of that, and that was very fun to work on. That got a Black Podcasting Award, I believe.
Yeah, because you beat my show.
Oh,
It's fine. It's fine. If I had an award for every time someone beat one of my shows, I'd have of more awards than I do. Uh, like
uh,
I'd have a room full of awards I didn't win. Oh, but no, that was a great show. That was a fun show.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that was cool. Oh, and then with Anthony, we did we don't always agree with Ryan Michelle Bethay and Sterling K. Brown.
right.
That was a fun show to work on. Ryan Michelle Bethay and Sterling K. Brown are like the coolest couple. And the way that you see them on TV is exactly how they are. Like they are so down to earth and hilarious together. That was a great show to work on. Um, and that won an NAACP Image Award. Ebony K. Williams, Holding Court with Ebony K. Williams. That was one of my favorite shows to work on. We're trying to figure out how to bring it back, but that won an NAACP Image Award as well. And right now I'm working on Learn the Hard Way with Kier Gaines. That's my dude. He is super, super cool. It's a men's sort of like mental health and lifestyle podcast. And yeah, I think that's the high points, Crystal. Damn.
Not the high points. I was going to mention the low points. It's okay. We'll skip the low points. Oh, I was going to mention the low points. It's all right, y'all. I'm not going to mention the low points. I'm going to skip right through them. I remember talking in, when did we go to Memphis? 2023? 2024, somewhere around there. Oh, no, it was 20. I know what it was. It was 2020. It was 2024. It was like winter 2024.
Okay.
And a phrase comes up, and we'll get into other things. I know y'all want to hear about the voiceover stuff. I know what y'all want. I'll give you what you want, but you got to listen to me talk for a bit. And there's a phrase that comes up a lot because I know we follow each other. We find, I know you got a friend in the background. She's behind a ficus. And it's when you have like a career that's as long as yours, there's a lot of fun stuff and not fun stuff. And I know, like, I've had it. I know you've had it. I just wonder if you could think of those periods where you've wanted to maybe stop doing the producing stuff because there was not fun stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm working on a corporate podcast situation right now. And I was like, oh, like this is the end. Like this is it. Literally, yesterday, and I'm just being very honest. Yesterday, I was in tears because I was just like, it has never been this difficult to just wrap something in my whole career. It's like every other day, there's another little thing. Oh, can we just this little thing? Can we add this? This what they call it, the scope creep is crazy.
Scope creep is wild.
It's crazy. So I've had that feeling. This will be my third time feeling that in the whole span of my career. I guess which isn't so terrible, but when you feel it, you know? But then, I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, it's not so bad. Like I had a moment.
But that's growth though, because like I can think of instances where like when you're in it and like when those in its become months and you're just like, yo, this sucks. Like this sucks. Like this job sucks. These people suck. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like you like the work and you will probably like the shows you're making. But like the extra on top.
Yeah. It can be a lot.
That July becomes August and then you're starting to wonder like, is this you? Like, is it me? Am I the one who is like
Am I I've actively thought that. I was like, am I actually good at this? Like I've sat and thought about like where did these awards come from? Because it can't be not what's happening right now. So yeah, no, I have absolutely felt that, and I'm in that a little bit right now. But the good thing is like this week I can kind of like see the end of the tunnel. So I'm like, okay, we just got to make it to this, to this point. But no, it happens. It happens.
I feel that. No, I feel that. I do want to hit on because you've been successful. I consider most people in this chat would consider you successful in podcasting. You've been able to pay some bills. You've got some awards. You get to work with people that people want to work with. By success standards, y'all can define however you want to define success. Other people define success differently. I'm gonna call you successful because You're someone I like, and I like to call people I like successful. Be mad at your mama if you don't agree. Um, what made you want to do something more than just podcast producing?
Um, because I realized, like, even though there were shows that I really enjoyed working on and I was, like, having the time of my life with, like, different teams that I worked with, I got tired of the multiple hats of the producer, and I realized that I wasn't actively, like, creating my own stuff or, like, being, like, creative outside of what was paying me. And granted, right, like, narrating audiobooks, somebody's paying me to do that, but, like, I get to go into a booth and record and then just go home. There's an engineer, there's other people who are taking care of the rest of, like, the full cycle of the audiobook after I get out of the booth. I just go in there and drink some throat coat, you know what I mean? Like, sit there, and I get to be a different person every single time I go in the booth, and I love that so much. I get so much, like, out of it, um, creatively, and it helped honestly, doing more than just production helped me to get back into my writing and actually get stuff published because I had a bunch of stories just half finished everywhere. And now it's like, oh, my imagination is coming back, because I'm not just thinking about deadlines and did we get this NDA signed and, like all those, you know what I mean? All the stuff that you like wake up out of your sleep, like, oh my God, did I do this thing? Um, so yeah.
No, I think that's the one thing. And if you haven't worked in, um, I hate the term corporate podcasting, but let's just call it corporate podcasting for what it is. There's a big corporation generally that's giving you a check. Um, if you haven't worked in corporate podcasting, there are certain um expectations of your team that has a tendency to stifle the creativity that you would normally find as an independent podcaster. So, like, if you don't make that Thursday publishing deadline at 8 a.m. as an independent podcaster and you do it at 9, bet. Cool. Love that for y'all. Uh, for for that corporate podcast, you that's not gonna necessarily vibe, right? NDAs are what, yeah, you can't miss your NDA or a bad contract, and um, I if you could give these folks, because a lot of these people haven't done it, or maybe Adele probably has. Adele will probably be the one person I know who has. Uh, can you tell folks a little bit about what your day to day looks like as a producer on a yeah on like maybe on a care show?
Yeah. So Kier show is a little bit different because he is like on a book tour right now. So we're kind of like working around his book tour. But so I work with Carla Wilmaris and her team. And we just have a really good time. So basically we have Carla and I um kind of talk through some options each month for like who we want to have on the show the next month and a few months out, whatever the case is. And we like put a little pitch together for each person, just a few sentences and some links for Kier to like be able to go over. Um and we send it to him. We have a conversation with him about different people, see who he knows, who he has um who he's aware of or who he might have already met before, and to see if there's any like interest on his end to talk to certain people about different things. And for the most part, we're all pretty much aligned. And I think this is where I love working on podcasts, where it's like we all get it. You know what I mean? There's not all this like hand wringing over like stupid stuff. It's just like, hey, I think Eddie Glaude would be great on this show. What do y'all think? And here's a couple of angles that I'm thinking about, you know? And then we talk through it and we have the conversation. So like pitch meetings and all that stuff happen. I create an outline for Kier based on the conversation that we had about the person and what Kier wants to talk about, plus the research that I've done about the person. Um, and I create the outline, and then he and I go over it together. Then we shoot with the person. A lot of times he goes off script. which is not an issue at all because he's a licensed therapist. So there are things that strike him in the moment, like clinical stuff that he could talk about, whatever. Um, and then we package it and it goes out into the world. Like his show is so straightforward. It's just playing Tetris with schedules is the like I won't even really call it a pain point, but yeah, it is because if there's something really big that comes up for him, we have to fit around that. You know what I mean? Which is fine. But we just have a really good time making his show, and I think that's the if I'm talking about the things that I really love about producing right now, his show is the top thing that I love. Yeah.
I love that. I love an easy production schedule. Like, if
Yeah.
the worst thing about your production is just, like, availability, you're doing pretty well. Like, availability can be, like, one of the worst pressure points,
Yeah.
um, but you can work around it. You get far
Yeah.
enough ahead, you work around it. Especially on evergreen, like, uh
That's what I love. I like evergreen stuff. Don't I'm tying it to Black History Month or Indigenous Peoples Day and all the things and like having no, please, please leave me alone.
no more. Ashley, you heard her here first. Ashley J. Hobbs said no more Black History Month content. She don't wanna hear it. Y'all need to stop doing it. She's
It's
tired of y'all.
stressful. I love my Black people. I love my Indigenous people. I just don't want to make content around it no more because golly, it's just a
Yo,
lot.
I I stressed myself out doing a daily podcast once. I never wanna do it again. Oh, that was, like, the worst pain. A daily
Yeah,
podcast turned around recorded 4 p.m. every day. Daily entertainment.
I can't even imagine.
Oh, it's
God bless.
trash. Look, never again. Not enough money in the world. Nope, just taking it back. There is enough money in the world. Uh, this house needs to get paid. So make an offer. Um, no, look, make an offer. I I was really fascinated by the contrast of producing and audio narration when it comes to your creativity,
Mhm.
and how, like, you say that the audiobook narration has essentially reopened your creative self. When do you feel like you lost that?
Um, I think I lost it the first time I moved out of my mother's house and I was trying to survive. And it's funny, like,
She
I'm so
said capitalism.
yeah, like, really, like, I can laugh about it now, but honestly, like, being in survival mode sucks, like, you can't think, you know what I mean? Like, you can't it's difficult for me to imagine stuff when I'm in survival mode. I'm learning more how to just be disciplined in, like, just writing regardless. If I'm stressed out, whatever, just keep, like, writing and, like, trying to create even when I'm stressed out. Because I keep thinking about that Toni Morrison quote where she's just like, you know, some of the people who've written, pretty much the most prolific things, they were writing them from jail cells. You know what I mean? Like they were stressed the hell out, but they still found a way to still get something out. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not in jail, right? Like, um, my rent is paid, this month. We gotta think about next month. You know what I mean? Let me just figure out how to keep my creative self going. And honestly, I worked through the Artist's Way book. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, all that hocus pocus, whatever." But no, in 2023, I worked through the Artist's Way book, and it was so helpful for me. I'm doing it again now.
Are
Um,
you really?
yeah, and
Okay.
things started happening and moving and shifting and shaping for me, and I think it was just my commitment to, like, being disciplined enough to work through the book and, like, really rediscover myself creatively. Um, but honestly, yeah, like, when I lost that, it was when I was just trying to figure out how to be a full adult, and everything else took precedent over, you know, me being creative. It was like I was in a creative industry, but I still was just like producer mode. I got to make this thing for the people so that they'll pay me the money so I can live, you know?
No,
Yeah.
I feel that. I love making things for the money so that I can live. Look, you ain't gonna hear me complain about making things for money so I can live. Uh, and I get it because one, capitalism is a scam for real.
It
So
is. It
for
is.
those of you who don't believe that, again, go complain to somebody who loves you. Uh, because you're not gonna get me to agree with you. I want the artist way is interesting. First off, I love anything that helps somebody become a better version of themselves. So like and as long as it doesn't harm somebody else in the process. That's always my caveat. So whether that's a book, whether that's laying down on the floor crying, listening to Natalie and Bruglia's Torn, um, like whatever you've got to do to help you get to that next better version of yourself, like do that. I've known a lot of people go through the artist's way. I went to film school, y'all. Like they all go through the artist's way. Like I and as a lot of you are independent podcast creator, I would recommend it. I really would. Um, Now granted, you have to do self work. If you're not a big self work person,
Yeah. There's lots of
um,
questions you got to answer. Yeah.
yeah, and you have to answer them honestly. Like if you're not a big honest answering self person, you're gonna struggle. Because then you've just like it's like if you're in one of those maps and you just keep taking a bunch of wrong turns and you're like, I don't understand why I'm still in the maze. That's that's what the artist way will do to you. I love
Yeah.
I didn't know you did the artist way twice.
Yeah.
What made you
I'm
want to revisit it?
because I felt like I was getting back to the place that I was in 2023 where I was just like, "Okay, what's next?" Or what am I doing? Because out from just so everybody understands, one of the things that the artist way tells people to do is to write 3 pages a day. And it doesn't matter what you're writing, just don't stop writing until you've written 3 pages every day. And it's just like the discipline of doing it and just like stream of consciousness, right? I have been a pretty consistent journaler since the 1st grade. I think it was only a few years during college that I didn't journal. Um, but recently in the past few years, I'd fallen off with journaling. And so people kept telling me about the artist way. And I was like, what is this? Like new age weird stuff, y'all, and whatever. But then I was like, look, I'm gonna go ahead and just see, right? And it got me back into the practice of writing, journaling, every single day essentially. And I mean, some of the time I didn't really have anything to say. I would just write the same word over. But it was just the discipline of doing it alongside the questions it was asking you, the things it was telling you to do in your life, like, whatever. And that was really helpful for me. So I was like, let me do it again now because I feel like I'm in a space where I have a lot of questions and not a whole lot of answers. So let me do it again now and see what comes up for me. So yeah.
I love that. They're oh, I have so many questions now. Okay. I have so many questions now. Okay. Pause. Hi everyone. My name is Crystal. This is Ashley J. Hobbs, amazing producer, audiobook narrator, writer, a person with a lot of questions and not a lot of answers. And this is the pivot where we talk about things related to podcasting in general, powered by the Black Podcasters Association. It's 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern. We go until like 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Happy to have you all here. If you just popped in, this is what we're doing. Um, Ashley's amazing. Just do a little reset because this is what we do. I work in radio generally. So you're going to hear me do some time checks. Don't be surprised. Um, you keep using the word discipline. Uh,
Mhm.
and I want to understand what does like having a sense of discipline mean to you?
That's a good question.
Thank you. I
Uh,
thought of it on my own.
um, discipline. Yeah. So I think because when I think about myself, there are a lot of things that I'm very disciplined about. I mean, even just journaling for the majority of my life, I was disciplined about it without thinking about being disciplined, right? But I think as I've gotten older and more and more things have like crowded into my life and I have more things to do and, whatever, I'm like, man, I really need like time for myself. And I'm disciplined about everything else. Again, like that earns me money, right? Like doing the thing that earns me money. But when it comes time to do things that are like my own creativity or making sure that I'm getting in the time that I really want to spend with my family and friends and stuff, I was letting those things kind of drop, by the wayside. And I think for me, I just needed a reset in terms of like, when I say discipline, I don't mean it in like this rigorous type of way. I mean it in a way of like, I want to make sure that my priorities are in order no matter what's happening in my life. And I'm giving what I need to give to the things that need it most. So I think that's what I mean.
No, I love that. I love that you, like, return to these things in these, like, periods of reset, and
Yeah.
and I find it interesting, like, that there's, like I do this thing, I get in this mode, I make my money, like, always make your money. Do
Mhm.
not let the man keep you down, but also just, like, how do I reset self when I have questions? And I'm interested in, like, what period of questions are you in now? Like, what period of questioning are you in now, and what answers are you possibly searching for?
Yeah. So the main question I think that I've got right now is like, okay, what is the next thing that I'm going to actually create? Um, I have I love audiobook narration, but somebody else created that and I'm just bringing it to life. And I shouldn't say just bringing it to life, but yeah, I'm bringing it to life, right? And I love doing that, but it is somebody else's words. So I'm like, what am I going to create? Like I said, I've had short stories published and I'm really proud of those because God knows they were like years in the making. Um, and so that's why I'm like, I'm off social media until sometime in November. I jumped back on because I was like, "Oh, shoot, I remembered I was supposed to be on this podcast, and I was on another one." And I was like, "Unless they're gonna send me something, let me hurry up and, like, do the collaboration thing."
I'm dead.
But I'm, like, off social media, and I'm really just trying to focus in every day on, like, a piece of the thing that I'm trying to build, that I made, as opposed to, "Hey, look, I produced this thing for somebody else, and it was their vision," you know? So that's like the questions that I've had. Okay, like what is the thing that I'm going to build and how do I want to structure my time around getting it done? Even if it sucks in the first draft because it is going to suck in the first draft. Yeah.
No, I love that. That's dope. I couldn't be off social. I should be off social because I like to start fights. But we're not fighting we're not fighting on the internet in 2026, y'all. Just remember that.
Not
Look, people be trying me. Uh, I love, like, this urge to create something that's inherently yours. I don't know, I don't necessarily think first drafts suck. I'm just gonna put it out there, that's just me. I think they need work. It's the raw cut, right? I can't hear you, and I don't know if that's me or if that's you. Hold on.
Oh no. Hello? Can you hear me? Uh can you I can you Okay, I can hear you now, but I mean you can hear me now, but I can't hear you. That's so weird. What is happening? Wait, you can still hear me? But I can't hear you. Ah. Okay. Technical difficulties, guys. Oh, Shamiko, yeah, she said she could hear me, but not Crystal. Okay. We're figuring it out. Okay. She is coming right back.
Boom.
There it is.
Yep. The internet hates me. It's fine. But as I was saying, because the only thing that sucks is my internet, uh, and my mortgage, uh, I just think it's a raw. The raw
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily suck. It's just,
yeah.
raw. You gotta
No, that's really fair. It's so funny that you said that because it just reminded me. I just took a short story writing class with Quelly Journal, and the last night of the class, the last 2 nights of the class, we did peer review of everybody's short story that they had been working on. Um, and I was so nervous because I was like, I really hope that this is as dope to these people as it is in my brain. This is really the test, man. And the way that everybody was so excited about what I was writing and they were asking me questions about where it came from in my head and stuff, I was like, "Oh," like, I don't know, sometimes, you do need the validation. And the fact that, to your point, that that was a first draft and people were excited about it, it still need obviously, like, right, it needs work, but the fact that people were so excited about it, I was like, "Okay, yes, I'm on to something." 'Cause, some people have delusions of grandeur, and I don't wanna be that person.
look, I think there's a difference between a delusion of grandeur and understanding what you can do at the jump.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, I know I'm a pretty great editor. Like, I know this. I know that my first edit is gonna be better than most people's first edit. Uh,
Mhm.
will it probably need a second edit? Yeah, because I edit pretty fast. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just do. But, like, I know what I'm gonna deliver on the first try. It doesn't make it, you know, it doesn't make you braggadocious to know
yeah,
that what you're putting out there is gonna be dope. And so,
yeah,
like, I think that you should carry yourself knowing that, like, the first thing you're gonna put out is gonna be dope. It'll need work, but it's still gonna be dope.
that's fair. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Just
do that
throw your image award on the table when you do it, though. And just be like, "Look, here's my story." And then they'll just be like, "Oh, okay. Is this the paper?" No, it's fine. Oh, but I find that for a lot of people, they do this. And then, we're trained a lot to do that.
Yeah,
Um, and it's always the worst people who don't have the skill or the inclination rather, that to shrink within themselves when they're
yeah,
producing their crappy product.
yeah.
Go out there with the confidence of a mediocre podcast coach. Uh, you know the ones.
I know the ones. Golly, I hate that I do, but I know what you're
See,
talking
you
about.
know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what
Jeez.
I'm talking about. And that goes for, like, anyone also in the space. Like, you all are producing content and you know exactly the level that you're at. You know
Yeah,
it. You know it. Be truthful with yourselves. You know what you produce at and just go out there knowing what you're giving out into the world. You know
yeah,
you're producing good stuff, like, be proud of what you're producing and just know what you're getting out there. Doesn't mean that it's doesn't need more polish. It just means it can be dope at the job. Ashley
yeah.
makes dope shit. So, like, I know, like, whatever story she's putting out there is gonna be dope.
I appreciate that.
Like, not gonna have you out there thinking you're putting out bad stories. I ain't gonna do this. Not on Beyonce's internet. We ain't doing that.
What
Um,
Beyonce's internet?
it was Oprah's internet, but then I think she aged out of the internet. Except she's been on this press tour. Like,
Yeah. You know what? Now it's Kiki Palmer's internet.
is
Oprah's
it
guest. Okay, maybe okay,
okay? I mean, look. I'm not starting that one. Um, I want to go a little backwards and talk about how you first got into audiobook narration because I know that's what a lot of people are gonna have questions about, and I want to give the people what they want so they're not in my inbox going, "We didn't ask any questions you wanted." Also, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat. Um, I might not read them, but they'll get read eventually, maybe. Um, so, what was like your first step moving into that space?
Yeah, so when I was working for Jamel Hill's Spotify network that she had, Our head of production, Rich Berner, shout out to him wherever he is in the world right now. Rich had like 25, 27 something years in radio. And he had done voiceover and all this stuff. And so when we were first trying to build Sanctified, we had to do chemistry reads between hosts. Um, and the way that we built the show, there was going to be like an oral essay that happened in the middle of the show, a short one, like 3 minutes long. Um, and in order to create that fake episode for the host to do a chemistry read, we needed an essay and we needed it read by somebody. And I was like, all right, fine. I don't mind doing it. I'll go find something on the internet and I'll just read a short excerpt of it, blah, blah, blah. So I did that. Rich edited, the oral essay. And then he said to me later, he was like, have you ever considered doing like voiceover or audiobook narration? And I was like, no, because I always thought that my voice sounded childlike. And I was like, I don't want to hear that. So I'm not going to do that. Um, he was like, I think you really should consider it. He was like, because you have a very, I think he said soothing voice. And I was like, oh, okay. Um, and so that was a very difficult year for me in podcasting. And I just kept remembering what he said to me. And a few months later, I said to him, I was like, will you help me create like a voiceover reel? Because I think I want to try my hand at this. I don't know, but I don't know what'll come of it, but I want to try it. So he produced a voiceover reel for me. It was funny because when I sent it, I did a bunch of different stuff. Like I did like a BET commercial. I did a Neutrogena commercial, and then I did an Ulta Beauty commercial, and I sent it to my mom. No, I sent it to my sister. She let my mom hear it, and she was like, "Dale, who was that white woman?" I was like, "It's me. Maybe I do have a future." If you thought I was a white lady doing an Ulta commercial, cool, cool, cool. But from there, I started researching how do you get into audiobooks. And a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, the only way to do it is to start through Audible's ACX, and you have to start by like making no money. You have to produce it all yourself, and like you probably could get royalties, but that's only on the back end and all of this." And I remember, and I was like, "God, I have started at the bottom for a lot of things. I don't want to start at the bottom for this." I really did. I prayed that prayer. I was like, I really don't want to have to do that. Like, I want to. If I'm going to do this, then I want to work with a publisher. Um, I heard about Penguin Random House has an audiobook narrator mentorship program. And literally 5 minutes before the deadline, I turned in an application just to see, because I was like, who knows? Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. But I submitted 3 samples. I submitted a sample from a book called Love by Toni Morrison, a sample from Cicely Tyson's memoir, and a sample from this magical realism, like historical fiction book by Leslie Penelope called uh, The Monsters We Defy. Because I was like, I want them to see I got range. I don't know what the hell I'm doing yet, but I think I got some range. Um, and so I applied for it, but I also went ahead and made a free profile on this database called Ahab, which is for audiobook narrators. Because I was like, let me put myself out there because all sorts of audiobook producers search that database for potential narrators. Um, I got an email from someone at Penguin Random House maybe a month after I put my name out there, made a profile on Ahab, and they wanted me to audition for a book. Um, I sent the audition like the next day, and a week later they said, the author, yours was the first audition that they heard, and you were the one that the author wanted. And I remember I cried because I was like, wait a minute, this can't be real. This can't be real. Um, and then shortly after that, the woman who reached out to me about the audition ended up becoming my mentor in the narrator mentorship program. Cause she was like, Ashley, I didn't know you applied. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you. Like, if I'm going to get it, I want it to happen because you thought that I belonged in the program. So that's how I got into audiobook narration. made a profile on a database and applied for a narrator mentorship program and got in. And, it was a slow start at first, but this last year and the top of this year have been crazy, um, in a really good way. So, yeah.
Yeah, you killing it in the space. You killing it in the space right now. Uh,
I'm like,
you've
"How did I
heard
get"
Ashley read to you this year, y'all. If you Black, you've heard Ashley read to you this year. If you listen to audiobooks. If you don't listen to audiobooks, then maybe you
Yeah,
haven't. In which
yeah,
case, get yourself a book. They're trying to take them away. Uh,
right.
so like it's important. There's a few things that I love about this story. One, if a radio person, like someone who's actually worked in radio, not like someone who hasn't, tells you that you should do like voiceover work, that is like the highest compliment that you can get because that
Yeah,
is not something that radio people tell other people. Um, like
yeah,
they don't, as someone who works in that's not something that radio people go around just randomly telling people. Because
yeah,
radio people just hate people in general. Um, they're definitely not complimenting or telling other people to like go get VO work because VO is like super competitive. Like y'all need to understand it is so competitive out there. Uh
yeah. That's why I haven't even, like I want to eventually, like, get into VO, but I'm like, I wanna master audiobooks first, and then I'll
you'll
worry
be
about,
fine.
you know?
Just do it.
Yeah,
Just do
yeah.
it.
Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you was
Oh,
I was going back through all my, like, voice because sometimes, like, whenever, like, I'm driving, sometimes I will turn on, like, the voice memos thing, and I'll just talk to myself. Or, I'll record prayers or, whatever, like, just talking because it's like, you're driving and you got a while to be in the car. I found one from 2017 when I was driving to the ed tech job that I hated, and I was crying. I was like, "I hate this job." Try to be grateful, but I hate this job, and I cannot wait until I'm making money as a producer, as a writer, and as a voiceover actor. I said that in 2017 and had no recollection of saying that, which is the craziest thing, and in my mind, I'm like, "Well, I hate my voice. Why would I have ever said that?" And now
see, you got
it
to put that on a file somewhere. You have to
look,
put it on Audition and like save it. Uh,
yeah,
put a bed underneath it. Uh,
yeah,
look,
something.
look, we're gonna turn it into a mix. You're gonna send that to me. I'm gonna turn it into a mix. I'm gonna put some stingers and sweepers underneath it. We're gonna
I'm
make
telling you,
put
like,
the
it's
ether beat
why
underneath it.
yeah,
No,
it's mhm,
that's phenomenal. Like
yeah,
you
mhm.
met Melanie and Anthony Clark, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
Melanie and Anthony Clark, two of my favorite human beings, the amazing Clarks. They
yes.
would call that EIP. Everything is perfect. So that
Mm,
everything is what should be, and that you willed that. Like
yeah.
you knew what was gonna happen. You had to go through all the things to make it happen, but, like, you've set yourself up for this, and so when you say, like, "I wanna get into VO, but I wanna really master it," I would just go for it.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I think, like, what you were saying earlier was some of the reason why I was just like, "Ah, I gotta get an agent." I don't like,
You know?
the things. That's because that's what everybody's like, "For audiobooks, you don't really need an agent, but for VO, you do." And I'm like,
No, you
"Okay,
don't.
be a thing."
We could talk offline. Do you know that I know the amount of rated people who don't got a single agent that are doing VO.
Okay, yeah, we definitely need to talk then, because 'cause
Yeah.
I'm like, "Let's eliminate middlemen."
No, they don't it's the same thing, it's database now.
Okay.
They've moved into database because 'cause they're moving into AI. A lot of the stations are. So, like,
Mm,
even just having regular voice is so different. And, like, the fun thing let's not call it a fun thing. It's a terrible thing because the universe is terrible. Um, we see it with, like, instrumentals too. And I'm gonna use the word urban. I hate the word urban, but this is how we categorize things in radio and in music. They don't have enough urban voices for a lot
mm,
of the things they wanna create. So
Mhm.
when new urban voices hit, like, catalogs, they get picked up really quickly. Uh,
Oh, okay. Well, I should be a shoo-in then, because I can do
yeah,
that.
that's why. And again, it's like, we are like people who are good are always the people who stop themselves and think they have to be perfect before they go and do the thing. I
Yep.
always tell people, uh, have that confidence of a mediocre white man. Just go in there and think you so like they don't let nothing stop them from taking an opportunity.
Oh.
You're just climbing up that ladder, creating hedge funds, pyramid schemes, MLMs. Like they really just be getting it
Getting
off the
it.
basis of just existing and being white.
Yeah.
So perfection perfection is the greatest scam to qualified people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
That's
be a Penn State Coke dealer. Don't do that. I'm not gonna advocate for selling Coke, because I don't like jail. It's not a fun time. Uh, I don't Lisa might advocate for that. I don't advocate for that.
we
Um,
just said, "Look, if times get hard enough, we might
look,
have to Google, 'How do you make cocaine?'"
I'm not that down bad, y'all. If you see me that down bad, mind your business, but I'm
Right.
not I'm I'm certainly not that down far enough. I wanna get into so it seems like a natural progression for
Mhm.
I mean, some people would say just because the correlation being books, from audiobook narrator to writer. Has writing always been you said you were journaling since you were a kid, but has
Mhm.
writing always been, like, a passion of yours?
Writing was always something that I really felt that I could do and could do well, but uh, I didn't really throw my full self at it until the past, like, 7 or 8 years. So I would have, like, little stuff that I worked on a little bit here and there my whole life, but I didn't really, like, go as hard as I knew I could go until about this last 7 or 8 years. Um, and I only started it's so weird. It's like, you know that you're good at something, but you don't love it. That's like a weird, like, frustrating place to be. Because 'Cause I'm like, when I see people say, like, "What's the one thing that you would do that you're so passionate about, like, even if you didn't get paid for it?" And I'm like, I don't feel like that about anything, and it's I'm like, "Is that bad?" Like, I love writing, and I love audiobook narration, but if at some point it didn't pay me, I'm like, "Well, wait, like, wait a minute." Um So sometimes I don't know, I think over the past 7 or 8 years, and I've had stuff, published that I didn't get paid for, but it was the validation like that, okay, all this stuff that I've had in my head over the years that I thought was really good and I finally went ahead and did it, it actually is good. So it kinda goes back to what you were saying, before, and I guess I was just stopping myself because I was like, "If this sucks, I'll be real pissed." Like, I'll be real mad.
This is bad. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating question. What would I do if I didn't get paid for it? Um, Funny thing. I think it's a complex question. I know the answer that I came to eventually, like for myself.
Mhm.
And I think so. The answer has actually been well. Now it's currently podcasting, but it can change. The answer changes for me, but the core of it is I want to help Black people, particularly. I want to help Black people tell their stories. So whatever
Yeah.
medium that ends up being is how that changes over time.
Mhm.
Um, and so, like, I do a lot of that for free. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I do need something to help me pay my bills. So, like, I was lucky to find something that helps me pay my bills that
Yeah.
is close enough to that.
Yeah.
Um, so, like, I think when you think about it, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to write if it wasn't paying my bills. I don't know. I would wonder, like, what is the I think you have to separate the action from, like, the deeper root.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, yeah, now that you're saying that, because I'm thinking about how I felt when I got a really good idea and I'm just down a rabbit hole, like researching, writing out like a first chapter or whatever. Um, and that actually does feel really good. And maybe I'm confusing like really loving doing something with like feeling passionate about it all the time,
Yeah,
which
and trust me, I don't feel passionate about it all the time
yeah.
'cause some of these
Yeah.
people be annoying. Some of y'all, mostly Lisa, be real annoying sometimes. Uh, but the core of it, like, and another couple of folks, Kariga and Felicia Bailey,
Mhm.
we were having a conversation once, and I was talking to his mother, and
Mhm.
she was just like, "Yeah, you're walking in your purpose. This is the purpose that was bestowed on you by God, uh, and that's why you are able to move in the ways that you do." And I'm just
Yeah.
like, you know, well, old black lady tells you you're working your purpose by God, and I'm just like, "Oh, now I'm gonna be fucked up for, like, 3 weeks." Uh,
Yep.
so it's just like, okay, let me sit with this and figure out, like, how I rationalize this for myself.
Mhm.
Uh, and then that's what it was. It's just like, I wanna help other people tell their stories in the best way that I can.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, sometimes it gets annoying and I'm not in love with it all the time, but deep down, I know I am doing what I believe I'm here to do in this way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point, because I think that when I got into production work, that was what I felt like my purpose in production was, and it actually still is. I have the show that I'm working on right now, I think it's the first show that was not centered around Black folks. And it wasn't even necessarily that I only want no, that is no, it is that I only really wanted to work on Black shows. Yeah. Yeah. I had to, like,
Yeah.
think about what was I thinking when I first got into it, and that's exactly what I was thinking. Um, yeah. And because I remember I was telling people, like, I just really want to make dope Black shows. That's what I was telling people when I was in interviews and stuff back in, like, 2019. Um, and yeah. Maybe maybe that's why I'm having such a hard time right now in this moment, corporate one, because 'cause I'm
Look,
like,
I
"Oh,
stepped out for, like, a second, and it really messed with me. So, like,
yeah, I done strayed away from my original purpose."
ooh, we could talk about that one.
Yeah,
Had a whole heart attack. So,
it's
we could
just
yeah, it just I would say, like, it doesn't have to feel like, "Oh, I'm in it all the time," but I think, like, your purpose is to create,
create.
and you're so great at it.
Yeah,
Like
thank you.
like Lisa was saying, like, you help build these characters for people so that they're able to connect with story in a way, and
Mhm.
not everyone has the ability to do that.
Yeah, that's true. Um, it just reminds me of, I wanna say it was winter 2022? Yeah. I was so down bad. I had, a pastoral counsel going on, I had a therapist, and I had a career coach. So it's like, "We need to call in all of, like, who the whole cavalry, please, because 'cause I'm gonna lose my freaking mind." And the crazy thing was that within a week of each other, everyone said to me, "Oh, you're an artist, and you're having a hard time speaking about yourself and really like digesting the fact that you are an artist. You keep saying you're a producer, and that's cool and that's part of what you do, but like overall you're an artist and you need to work on your art." And that was the catalyst for me to get my first magical realism short story published. And then I ended up doing a monologue the next April um in New York City. Like it was like a whole monologue performance, 2 nights sold out show with a bunch of other people. And I was like, "Oh, like like I felt so alive once I started doing those things to offset whatever it was that I was feeling in my, full-time work at the time, and I'm like, "Oh, I am an artist." I think I forgot that again, so I'm back on
Look,
the art.
I love it. That's again, it's just like coming back to the core of who you are. You an
Yeah,
artist. You
yeah,
sensitive about your shit, but you an artist.
yeah,
And
that part.
and that's I think yeah, I think we all have purpose here. Like, look,
Mhm,
it's gonna get a little woo-woo for a second, y'all. Y'all just come with me, I'll bring it back. We all have a purpose. Whatever you believe your purpose is, you might not have found it yet.
mhm,
I did have this conversation with Dominic. Dominic and Twyla and I talked in the first pivot chat. Yeah, Dominic and I have had lots of conversations over the last Jesus, I've known him too long. 4 years, maybe 5 years. Dominic gonna catch a stray because Lisa was mad that she got a stray. Um, about, like, his goals. And I'm just like,
yeah,
"Dominic, podcasting is great. I love podcasting. It's dope. It's a good time. We're all here to do podcasting. It's a great vehicle for telling stories, but at the end of the day, like, you're bigger than podcasting. You're a storyteller."
yes, yes, Dominic.
Yeah, see? See, now Ashley yelling at you too, so it's not
Yeah,
just me.
'cause I
Um,
'cause I'm thinking about it, like, as you're saying, I'm like, "Hell yeah, Dominic Lawson." Okay, but go ahead.
yeah. And I think sometimes we end up in these boxes, and the boxes is what keeps us from achieving the thing that we want to do.
Mhm.
And again, a lot of it is systemic and capitalism, and again, survival, like, because you have to survive. I'm not telling nobody don't survive. Again,
Yeah,
don't email me and be like, "Crystal told me to go be an artist, so I quit my job, and now I live in a yurt." I don't wanna hear it.
yeah,
Do what you gotta
yurt is
do.
crazy.
Yo, I don't wanna hear about nobody's yurt life. Oh, but you're like, you sometimes have to think bigger than the task that you need to do to accomplish what you want to be.
Yes,
Um, the tasks help you accomplish, like, your purpose. The
yes,
purpose is bigger part of who you are, and so, like, I have enjoyed watching you do all these things, because, like, I remember the rough year. I I remember the rough year,
yeah,
because I think we were going through a little bit of it together,
yeah,
uh, because sometimes podcasting is a rough industry, especially
yeah,
corporate,
yeah,
and like all jobs, like, they don't care how much work you've done, how many awards you've won, who
mm-mm,
you've worked with, um all the friends you made along the way, uh,
yeah,
they will just
yeah,
leave you out there
mhm,
with, no unemployment, no insurance,
yeah,
and, like, a lot of grief, and
mhm,
all you have is kind of the people that you met that are telling you, like, it's not you, and there's something coming, and you hold on for that something coming, but it's hard to see the something coming when your rent has to get paid, and you have a car payment, and your
mhm.
partner is expensive, and she wants 18 Labubus, and the Labubus are expensive. Um, so so many
Well,
Labubus.
that's a really, really good point, Crystal. Because I think I mean, I don't it's not just the podcast industry, I think it's anything, but, like, we really do sometimes lose sight of the fact that community is everything. Because I don't like, that really rough year that I had, even just, like, you and I meeting and us having a conversation, we had a couple of conversations because we had a conversation in Philly, but then we also had a conversation in Memphis
Yeah, yep.
a few years later.
Mhm.
And to your point, like, that was so helpful for me to, like, get through the rest of what I had to get through because I was like, "Okay, it really is not like, I'm not crazy, and I'm actually good at what I do. It's just these other factions that are like," you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um, and that's so necessary when a lot of us are working remotely, right? Like, I'm in my apartment by myself most of the time, whatever, and so, yeah, your thoughts you could like, my thoughts have run wild so many times. I'm like, "Let me leave the apartment for an hour." You know what I mean? Like, "Let me go stand by the water real quick. Let me go hug a tree for real." You know what I mean? Like, something. So no, that's a really important point of, like, community because of all the different stints and different careers that I've had, I have not been able to count on community the way that I have amongst the podcasting folks that I've met, you know? Even if, like, you and I haven't seen each other in a couple of years, but, like, I know, like, if I hit you up like, "Hey, Crystal, I need you to tell me something because this shit is crazy." Like, that would be
Oh, yeah.
that happen. Like, the number of times I've called
Yo.
Twyla, I call her Twyla hot diggity dang, okay? I call her regularly. Or that I've called Tiffany Ashite or talked to Adele, like, it has been so necessary for me. So, I just wanted to say that because I haven't had community in a career like I've had in podcasting at all.
No, I think it's important. I don't think enough people understand how important that aspect has been. Even for me, I try to answer the phone. I'm real bad at answering the phone, y'all. But if you send me like 3 texts, then I'll get you. Oh, but no, I remember that conversation in Memphis, and yeah, it was important, I think, for both of us because I had just left a job that was awful at the end.
Yeah.
Um, and we were just having conversation, but yeah, like, I know there are, like, 7 people. I call her Twyla MF Dang. Um, but, uh, there are, like, 7 people, like, that I can call up right away if I
Mhm.
needed something, and they'd be like, "Bet what you need." Like
Yep.
like Adele, like Anna Deshawn. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, even you, even I know Ebony back there somewhere. Like, if I text Ebony, I'm like, "Hey, girl,
What?
let me ask you something real quick." She'd be like, "What you need?"
They're
Like,
not them.
but yeah, like, there are people when you meet them, and if you keep it going, and that's
Mhm.
the important part. Like, you can't just meet someone and constantly ask. Like, you
Yes.
have to be willing to give as well. And
Yeah.
and this is the one thing that I've always loved about what we do,
Yeah.
is just like, "Tell me what you need."
Yeah.
Or even, this last 8 months, I'm texting Adele, I'm like, "Adele, am I crazy?" And then send her, like, 3 screenshots, and she'd be like, "Nah, girl, you ain't crazy." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, cool, thanks." And let me go on with my day. Um,
Yeah.
and I really just want everyone here to, like, if you aren't in a community with some podcasters, one, shameless plug, we have a kickback tomorrow, Black Podcasters Association. Come meet some podcasters, start building, like, a group. Podcasting is lonely as shit. Like, it really is.
Yeah.
Like, Ashley out here hugging trees, I'm not gonna hug no trees, I've got wasps. But, like, you need to make friends if you really want to keep going, because they're the ones that are gonna carry you through it. Um, but some of my best conversations have come with people that I'm just like, "Let me hit this person up and see, like,
Yeah.
what we're doing and how we're going about it." Uh,
Yeah.
Ashley also just smart as shit. Like, the way Ashley produces, uh, much more organized than I am. If you've ever seen one of my rundowns, I come from radio, so my rundowns be real janky. Uh, and so, like, y'all should be learning from her. I don't know why y'all keep asking me stuff. I'm just gonna yell at you. Um, I I really am. I don't know why people keep asking me for help. Go harass Ashley. She knows stuff, but not on the internet. She offline till November, till Thanksgiving or whatever. Uh, when are you coming back to the internet?
Uh, November 3rd.
The third.
I know
Okay.
it's random, but yeah, no.
She's coming back in time for the midterms. I encourage y'all to vote. I don't know why she's coming back. Is there a significance to November 3rd? I
I
wanna
feel like it was just November the 3rd of what are we in? August? The 3rd of August is when I got off of social media.
okay.
So,
So
like,
you're just
okay,
doing like a straight 3 months?
yeah, straight 3 months.
Okay.
Don't be asking me questions to make me seem like I'm a weirdo. Everybody else
No,
understands.
I'm just I just thought I was gonna get like a real significant day. It's like, yeah, I'm coming back on this day because the moon will be a quarter
Nah,
full and nah.
just
She's
trying
coming
to
back in time for the midterms. If
yeah,
anyone asks, then that's
I'm running
why she's
I'm running for office. That's why.
look,
No, I'm joking. I
everybody, you heard it here first. Ashley J
Ugh.
Ashley J. Hobbs, the
Nah,
Running for no, not a good future?
nah, no,
Okay.
nah.
We might convince you, I don't know. If she does it one day, uh, just say you heard it here first. I I was perusing, um, I want to understand, and this was just fun for me.
Mhm.
How often did you get kicked out of class for being called most talkative?
Ooh, okay. No, okay. So 1st grade, I I'm sure everybody here remembers, like, when your name used to get put on the board, right? I don't think they do that anymore. But, like, if you was acting up in class, you got your name put on the board, and they would put, like, checks or whatever next to it, and then you would get, like, a suspension or call home or whatever. My 1st grade teacher just decided to not take my name off the board because I
Mhm.
was always talking, like, always talking. I always had a conversation going with somebody. And then she moved my desk next to hers because it just wouldn't stop. Um, and I would get really good marks in school, but it was always that note too talkative. And but what's crazy is that my 1st grade teacher is the one that introduced us to journaling, and she was by far the teacher that had the biggest impact on me, like positive impact on me to the point that she came to my high school graduation, and I invited her to my college graduation, but she couldn't make it, and we're friends on Facebook to this day. That lady's like 80 years old,
Oh,
and
dang.
she lives right in Newark, like 20 minutes from me, and I'm like, "I need to go visit Miss Clegg because I'm a writer and I talk for a living because this lady, even though she was trying to get me to stop, her class just brought it out of me, like,
She
so."
couldn't she was what she was doing was encouraging you, to be defiant and lead you on your path to greatness, so I I just find it funny. I always wonder how many podcasters were voted most talkative. I was
Mm,
not. Um, I was voted most disruptive and most likely to punch somebody in the face.
okay, that
Which
tracks, Crystal.
look, I feel like not enough people get punched in the face these days.
I think it's frowned upon to say that
I don't.
publicly.
No, because here's the thing. I think too many people are on social media saying things because they
Yep,
don't fear getting punched in the face.
yep. No, that's
And
true.
if they feared getting punched in the face, if like they knew a possible punch in the face was coming with their comment
Mhm.
and what they put on the internet,
Yeah, they would think twice.
they would think twice.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
yeah.
saying. More
Mhm.
punches in the face 2027. That's all I'm saying. That's the platform I'm running on. Uh, here in LA. 'Cause
You would get a real big voter block with that
yo, in
at
LA,
this point.
absolutely. We love punches in the face in LA. Uh, I loved it, but yeah, so I know all these podcasters love them being their most talkative selves. I wanna talk a little bit about success,
Mhm,
only because I feel like maybe we are in a success moment with you. Uh,
mhm.
what would you what would you say is your success high point right now?
Um, honestly, I would say in the narrator space, Ken has been, like, I understood to some degree what it would mean to narrate a Tayari Jones book. I didn't know it was gonna be a Oprah's Book Club pick. And I didn't know, like, all of the, like, lists it's been on and the people who are hitting me up on threads and like, "We loved your narration of the book." I've never Crystal, I'm behind the scenes, right? So, like, for that to happen, and just to hear so many people say how much they really, really, really enjoyed it. I mean, Tayari has been so gracious and, like, she sent me a signed copy of the book. I love you so much. She said, "I knew as soon as I heard your voice that you were Niecy." Like, what? That's success to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
what the hell? Like, that's amazing. That really, really, really is amazing. So I would say that has been like a success high point for me with Ken. And also because I really enjoyed narrating the book. Because I'm gonna be honest, there's sometimes you're narrating books and you're like, I am a true actor because I I am a thespian because I do not like doing this, you know? Um, but man, I loved every moment of recording that book, and I was actually I was like, "Oh, I get it now when actors talk about, like, their last day on set when they're wrapped and stuff." Like, I get that with this book because I didn't want it to end. Um, so there's that. I think with podcasting, I think it's like the thing of like, okay, 4 NAACP Image Awards. Um, and I don't talk about that a whole lot because I think I'm like, awards are great and they're awesome, and I'm so grateful that I've worked on shows that have won, you know, such a prestigious award and things like that. Um, I don't know why, there's something with the awards that I'm just like, yeah,
Oh,
I kind of every
I wanna know why.
I don't know, I have to unpack that in therapy because there's a lot of people who are telling me, like, they need to be behind you when you're on your like, you need to talk about it more, and I'm like, I have them. You know what I mean? They're there. And I'm be honest with you, I think 2 or 3 of them are still in the box. There's one that's on my bookshelf right here. I have to I have to find the other ones, and God forgive me, but yeah, I gotta find the other ones. They're in here somewhere though. They are.
I
Um,
don't look, I don't display the only reason that these are displayed is because they were in another box we unpacked in the house. So, I don't disagree with, like, not displaying. I'm fascinated by the not telling people you won them.
it's like the way I see it is like it's in my bio on my
Right.
website. You know what I mean? Like it's on LinkedIn. You know, I did the obligatory 5-time award-winning podcast producer or whatever you do in your LinkedIn bio or whatever. Um, yeah, I will say the last 2 are the ones that I'm most proud of and I actually made a post about them like 2 years ago or something like that because it was one was for Ebony K. Williams' show, Holding Court, and I was very proud because we were a scrappy team putting that show together. And the love that we got from audiences, because they were like, "Yo, so much of the legal stuff that goes on in the world, I don't understand, but, like, Ebony and Dustin be breaking it down." Um, just using everyday headlines, you know, for the layperson who's not a lawyer or who may not even have access to a lawyer, and they weren't giving, like, advice or anything, but they were breaking stuff down about, like, alimony and, uh, conservatorships and elections and whatnot. And I just felt like, to your point about helping Black people tell their stories, that show was most impactful for me as a producer because I'm like, yo, we're doing Black people a service and breaking this stuff down from Ebony's freaking brilliant mind so that the average person can understand it and hopefully know how to make different or better choices if they come up against these things in life. And doing it in a way where they don't feel like they're being lectured or given a list of things to do. Cause, you know, Ebony loves to cuss. So it was like listening to, you know what I mean? Like listening to your auntie tell you, like, look, this is the shit you're not supposed to do.
Yep.
And here's a headline to show you why. You know what I mean? So I was really proud that we got that award. And then working on Sterling K. Brown and Ryan Michelle Bethay's show because they really trusted us to shape the show, you know, with them, but also for them. And you don't get that a lot from celebrities.
No.
You
It's
really
hard. It's a mix, like, either you'll get full trust or you'll get, like, no trust, and
yeah.
it's like, when you
Yeah.
get that full trust, it's really dope, but
Yeah.
I'm look, I think you should hot take. Oh, hot take.
Mhm.
You gotta name the awards. You gotta name the awards in your LinkedIn bio, because the awards circuit be a little wild now, people be having cable ace awards, and I'm just like, I need to understand which award you won. I
Okay.
need to know. So
Okay.
you need to put them NAACP or NAACP awards. They still want us to stop using double A.
Yeah.
Um, it's fine. I'll respect their wishes. Uh, you need to let the people know. You don't have to display them. You don't have to
Yeah.
display them, but you should let people know. They're first off, they're not easy to win. They're
No.
not easy to win.
No.
Also, yeah, they are expensive to enter, and they keep going
Yes.
up. Yo, that is an expensive award category. I think it's like 450 to enter
Yeah,
and
it's crazy. I'm
ACP.
like, "This is a car note. What is happening?" But okay.
Yo, but uh, yeah, those are good. I'll should bring in holding court back or no?
So we are exploring how. It's the how, and you understand exactly what I mean when I say the
Yep,
how.
I do.
Uh, Cause all of us and I told Ebony, I said, "Even if I retire from podcasting, because I've threatened to do that at least 3 times in the last 3 years." I was like, "Even if I retire from podcasting, as soon as we can figure out how to get this show back, I will come running and be your executive producer." Like, like, this is the show that I would come back for. So we're figuring it out, and I'm pretty confident, and I'm praying every day, like, that we're gonna figure it out, but yeah. Yeah. Not yet, but we're gonna figure it out. Yeah.
Okay, y'all heard it here first. You can tell the street. Don't. But if we hear it outside, we know when y'all did it.
Period.
One of y'all in the chat. We're gonna see who's gonna tell the secret. This is like the secret fun table. So if y'all tell, we're gonna know who it was. Um, no, I love it. I like hearing what people are most proud of, like what they've done, like what they feel like is
Mhm.
their greatest success.
Yeah.
Um, Ken is huge. Ken is huge. The
I I the way
uh,
that book blew up, I went across the street to an apartment across the street because a young woman I know from the neighborhood, she was like, "We just finished reading Kin in our book club. Can you come to the book club?" I was like, "What is happening?" Yeah, I'll come." It was such a great conversation, but I'm like, what is happening?" Like, honestly, I ask myself that, like, a few times a week around this book. I'm grateful for it, but it's yeah, that has been a point of success for sure.
oh, I'm happy. I haven't listened yet. Y'all don't yell at me. Uh, I just got like a e-reader, so I just bought one so I can read books digitally. Uh,
Yeah,
because I have too much stuff in my garage to physically buy books yet. I know we need to buy print books because
they're coming for the books.
look, they coming for the books, y'all. Uh, but yeah, it's you watching your successes is fun for me. I like watching other people's successes. It brings me joy watching other people do really well,
Mhm,
um, particularly people that I know, uh, and especially when they're living in things that I know that they love to do. So
mhm.
she's like, when you're sitting in the audience and you have the camcorder, you go, "Yeah, that's my baby," and we're all like cheering for you. That's what this moment feels like. It's just like, yeah, yeah, this is of course she's doing it and she's killing it and she's amazing. And like all these people are saying that she's doing this really great job because it's actually like done.
Man,
Uh, it's 6:07 p.m. Pacific Standard Time because I live in LA, so you're gonna get the Pacific Standard Time first. It's 9:07 Eastern, which is late. I don't know what time it is Central. Figure it out for yourselves. This is the pivot. We're talking to Ashley J. Hobbs for just a little bit longer. If you have any questions for Ashley, you can throw them in the chat. Um, Powered by the Black Podcasters Association. I am having a great time. I'm drinking tea. I had to go to the dentist today, y'all. Which is why I'm drinking tea and not, I don't know, vodka or whatever. Um, I can't drink vodka, y'all. Y'all know I can't drink anymore. Um, but yeah, if you have any questions for Ashley, feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm just having a good time talking to her. So like, y'all can just listen to me talk to my friend. This is like my greatest highlight. Um, yes, and go listen to Happy Land because Ashley did amazing on that too. Ashley does amazing on all the things that she has read. So you can go to her website and like see all the things that she has done and just like I assume you get royalties from things that people listen to. So, like, also line her pockets because she's got bills
Well,
to.
no,
No,
well,
is it a cut check? Is it MG? Oh,
no,
boo!
it's a one and done. But I want to just plug one book.
Plug the
Um,
book.
so my very first audiobook was a book called Redwood Court by Delana R.A. Dameron,
Oh,
right?
yes.
That was a fantastic book. Delana unfortunately passed away last November, I think. And this at the top of this year, her estate finally decided that they wanted to move forward with someone narrating her second book that she had finished. I didn't even know that she had finished a second book. And so my mentor from Penguin reached out to me and asked me, would I submit to narrate her second book? And I said yes. The second book is called Fairfield County. It's out now. I think it came out in June or maybe May. But it's a fiction story, but it is also um, deeply rooted in her own life of growing up with horses in South Carolina and learning from like her grandparents who were cowboys and all those things. And it's such a beautiful book. It's such like a beautiful like family history fiction book. So if you guys are looking for something else that's like slow and steady to read, that's a really great one. It's called Fairfield County by Delana R.A. Dameron. And she was just such a phenomenal author. I just want everybody to read it, like pick up a physical copy if that's what you like best. But if you want to hear the audiobook, I narrated it, and that was an honor to be able to do that for her. So yeah.
All right, that's the call to action. Fairfield County, as read by Ashley J. Hobbs, not Ashley Hobbs, because she works for Playboy, but Ashley J. Hobbs, Fairfield. We are going to listen to between now and November 3rd, because when
Yeah.
she gets back online on November 3rd, y'all can tell her how amazing she was and what the book meant to you and et cetera, et cetera. It'll be in her DM. She ain't gonna respond to you before that. So just like, you've got some time to listen. Shamika wants to know, did you end up doing the Penguin narrator mentorship after you were selected by the author? And if so, how was that experience?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I thought I said that I got yes. I They selected me. I was one of the 19 people for the 2024. Yes, the 2024 cohort. Um and yes, they it was a great experience. And what it was basically we would meet once a month, everybody in the cohort, with the two leaders of the mentorship program who were executives at Penguin, and they would bring in a guest once a month that would talk to us about different parts of the audiobook industry. So there was somebody who was an expert on like, vocal health, and they would talk to us about like our voice as an instrument and how to take care of our voice and like, health and all of that. They had someone come in and talk to us about equipment if we're going to be recording from home, how to treat your space so that you get the best sound quality. Somebody came in and talked to us about um, creating characters and how to like, do all. So it was like every month for, I think it was 6 or 7 months. We had a guest that would come in and talk to us about different things. On top of that, you were meeting with your mentor um, a few times monthly because you were prepping for recording samples. So you and your mentor were going over like, well, what genres are your strongest genres? Like what do you want to record? What kind of audiobooks do you want to start to record? And then you would go back and forth and figure out like, okay, I want to do a sample from this book, a sample from that book, a sample from this book. And Penguin paid for everybody in the cohort to go to studios and have our our samples, produced essentially. And then at the very end of it, we had a showcase on Zoom where it was a bunch of people from the industry. So it wasn't just people from Penguin. It was like people from the big five publishers, people from independent audiobook production houses, like everywhere. And one by one, we would come into the Zoom room and we would live narrate 3 to 4 minutes for everybody to hear. Um, and our mentor would introduce us. And yeah, and so that was what the mentorship program was. It was fantastic for me. And I'm still in contact with my mentor from Penguin to this day. She's like a senior vice president over there. Um, uh, so yeah, it was fantastic. And the applications, and I'm Penguin is not paying me, but I just have to tell people about it because I'm like, Penguin is one of the few publishers that really they're very committed to diversity. So if you are interested, I would say go ahead and apply. The applications this year open at they open. Yes, you're right, Shamiko. On the 25th of August. And they stay open, I think, until 500 people apply or until September 8th, whichever is first. So, yes.
So don't wait. Be
Don't
be
yeah,
early. Be
yeah,
early. Uh,
yeah.
no, I love that. Thank you for the question, Shamiko. I look forward to hearing about your acceptance to that program. Um, and for anyone else, if you get accepted, let us know. Don't let Ashley know; she'll be offline. But you can let her know after November 3rd. She'll cheer you on. Uh, we are coming down to our last 15 minutes. Can y'all believe it? I'm so
That's crazy.
excited. I know, right?
Time flies. 'Cause
Yeah,
what?
because I don't know. Time. Time is because time is a scam and it's fake.
Time is a scam. It's a construct.
It's a social construct. Oh, Shamiko. Okay. Shamiko wants to know, did you feel ready to produce your first project? What kind of project?
Oh,
Podcast? Audio?
you mean a podcast? No, well, oh, yeah, like my own podcast or like a audiobook?
Clarification.
Um, because I'm actually about to try my hand at audiobook narration. I mean, production.
Yo,
Podcast.
I hate producing. It's
You produced audiobooks before?
mhm,
Oh.
such a pain.
I we could talk.
Yeah, we can, but oh god, worst pain ever. Oh, podcast project.
Podcast project. Ah, I should be ready. I should have been ready. But again, it's one of those things where it's like I have seen so many terrible ones and I just don't I don't wanna I don't wanna do something terrible. But I have what I'll say to that is I have like 3 or 4 ideas. Um, and I will be ready when I get money.
I'm dead. And I don't know, Shamiko, if you meant, like, did you feel ready, like, when you produced your first like, when she first came into the industry?
Oh, she said, "Did you?" I thought she said, "Do you feel ready to
Look,
produce?"
I don't
Wait, yes, podcast project for others. Oh, did I
oh,
feel ready when I
okay,
first
bet.
started? Oh, my bad. Shoot, wrong
Look,
answer.
and you went to a better school than I did, so I feel really good about myself right now. Drink my tea.
I don't know what I was reading. Um, did I feel ready to produce my first project? No. But, um, because I would categorize working at Essence as, like, the first project for real. I didn't feel ready, but oh god, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I had so much energy and I was so eager, um, that feeling ready didn't really register because we were moving, we were constantly going, especially because of the Yes Girl podcast. If anybody remembers Corey Murray,
Man,
Charlie
this girl was
Penn,
so good.
Yolanda Sangweni, they originated the Yes Girl podcast. And so it was celebrity after celebrity after celebrity. We're booking space to like sit them down and talk to them. Essence had moved to Brooklyn, so people are hemming and hawing about having to come to Brooklyn instead of just being in Manhattan. And we're just navigating all these different things to get the podcast out every week. Um, I didn't really have time to be like to really think about whether or not I was ready because there was just too much stuff that needed to be done. And we had a very lean team working across 5 podcasts, 3 producers, Tiffany, Ashite, Chantel Holder, and myself. So, yeah.
I love when people say lean. Lean is a very nice way of saying the company was cheap, didn't want to hire more personnel. Uh,
Oh, Crystal.
I can say that. I have also worked in a lean situation.
Bruh.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. It was very much that. But also we just had a good time. That was the
yeah.
thing. We loved working with each other. We had a good time. Yeah.
No, I think that's the one thing. Sometimes you'll put up with shenanigans, because you're having fun, uh,
Mhm.
and trauma bonding with a bunch of people together.
You know,
Um,
that part. Mhm.
yo, but it's I think I will say, like, I don't think anyone's really ready for that first podcast job, especially back then.
No.
It was not like it is now, where there's a lot more, um, corporateness to it. It was a lot more like we're all figuring this thing out.
Yep.
Um, so there were a lot of people who didn't really know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if I've worked in any situation back then where it's like everyone's 100% ready to do this thing because the technology was also changing and
Yes.
like
Every 2 minutes. Yeah.
well, yeah, everything was absolutely changing. Um,
Mhm.
all the time. All the time. Um, so I was just like, yo. Um, I have some random questions that I want to ask just because I'm curious and I haven't talked to you in a minute, so I'm gonna self-indulge myself. What podcast are you listening to right now? She's like, girl, I don't listen to this shit. I have to make this garbage. Why do I have to listen to this shit?
No, I have not. I'm be honest, I have not been listening to podcasts,
Dang,
because
Ashley.
I'm like I'm trying to keep up with actually reading, but I'm like, the time to, like, sit and open a physical book, so let me just listen to audiobooks." So I've been listening to audiobooks and listening to music more than I've been listening to
All right.
podcasts.
What audiobook you listening to slash reading right now?
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your question.
I got
I
you.
am listening to I'm listening to Homegoing by Yad Yassi. Um, and this is a really good it's a really, really good story, about I think it's 2 is it 2 sisters? Or a sister and a brother? I'm at the very beginning, so just bear with me, people. But, like, one is sold into slavery, and one becomes the wife yes, 2 sisters, I believe. One becomes the wife of a white man who's a slave trader. And so it's about that story and, like, what happens, to them on their different journeys. Um and I'm reading it with if anybody is familiar with Cree Miles, she does the Always Black book content for Penguin. She has a book club called the Trap Poet Society. So that's the book that we're reading now within the Trap Poet Society. And yeah, it's really good so far. It's narrated by Dominic Hoffman. If you don't know who Dominic Hoffman is, if you remember Julian from A Different World, um, that's who Dominic Hoffman is. He's like a he's the one that Whitley was like so in love with, and then he went off and got with somebody else, and she was pissed. But he's like this fantastic what they call golden voice narrator now, and it's a really good audiobook. So yeah,
Okay. See how we pivoted that question? We're just
yeah,
right on through it.
yeah.
Uh, what's the last player or musical you saw?
The last play I saw was called the 13th, Fear of the 13th.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, starring Adrian Brody and Tessa Thompson,
Yep.
and it was about a man's, uh, journey within the carceral system trying to get out of prison for something that he didn't do, and that was a ride. I got there on the very last day. Yeah, that was a wild ride of a show, but that was a phenomenal show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
see, Ashley and Yanni are, like, the 2 people I can ask about plays and musicals, so I'm gonna ask it. See, I only get a few chances, y'all, so that's why I got to ask it.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause I'm always at Broadway. Tomorrow night, I'm going with my fiancé to see a show called House The House of the Negro Insane, and it's about an insane asylum in the '30s.
is that off
Um,
Broadway or is that on
it's
Broadway?
off Broadway. It's
Okay,
off Broadway. Um, yeah, it's gonna be really good. It's about, an insane asylum that houses only, quote, unquote, "insane Negroes." Um, and it's about I don't know, I forgot the whole storyline, but it's gonna be great. I know it is, so, yeah.
okay. See, that's why I live in LA, y'all. I have to generally wait for things to come here or I have to go to New York.
Yeah,
Um, so Yanni's gonna go see a few things for me in fall to decide if I should go out in winter to see some shows.
yeah,
Um, but you see my signed ragtime poster here.
yeah.
Saw in April. I just saw Mexodus at the Playhouse over here.
Mhm.
Mexodus was dope.
Okay.
Uh, but I think y'all lost it already. So um, I don't know what I'm gonna see. Oh, I'm seeing Purpose. I'm seeing Purpose in December.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was such a good
original
show.
cast too.
Yes, that was such a good show.
Yep. So
I'm so glad you're gonna see the original cast.
yep, original
That made
cast is
all the
perfect.
difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that is my indulgence, y'all. Y'all got to indulge me. Y'all go see plays, go see musicals because they don't like us there either. So go do it. Um, Also, Black theater is like popping right now. Um,
yeah.
so good, so good. If no one else has any questions, Ashley, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight.
This was so
Um,
fun.
I am so like just proud and happy to see all the things you're doing and like just the span of I don't even want to call it your career, your artistry
Mm,
from inception to now and even the things that I know are coming. Uh
yeah.
like it is so dope just to see someone living in what they want to do and what they're meant to do and
Mm,
then to see the universe also align in that sense. So,
yeah.
like, it is so cool that, like, other people get to see it and other people get to hear it, um, and recognize you for it too, because you
Yeah.
deserve all those things.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. I and also I feel so silly. I am going to be way more active. I'm just realizing like I have not been hitting up the Black Podcasting Association and stuff like at all. I've literally been in my apartment, y'all. Okay. Whatever
That's
else is
okay. That's
fine.
why we here. That's why we harass you. If you're like Ashley and you haven't been hanging out with us, come by tomorrow. We will be in community. Blackpodcastersassociation.com. We have our monthly kickback tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And that's where we just hang out. Ashley might not be there because she's busy. Look, she got to read books. So like you might not see her. She's on a sabbatical. We are gonna respect her internet sabbatical. She'll be back in time for the midterms. But we have monthly kickbacks every month. So if you don't make it tomorrow, you can make it out in September. Um, I don't know what our next pivot chat's gonna be. I am talking to a few people for September, but it's just a matter if I feel like talking to them or not. But if you have someone in mind that you're like, Crystal, I would really love for you to talk to this person. If I don't hate them and they're a good suggestion, I might take it into consideration. If I don't like them, I'm just not going to talk to them because they're just some people I don't like. And that just is what it is. Um, Actually laughing so hard. Actually, like, I can't believe you be saying this shit out loud. Um,
He just let you. It's
they
crazy.
just let me. They just let me say whatever. Just whatever on the internet. Um, I appreciate all of you who've tuned in
Yes.
tonight. If I don't hate them, look, some people would be deserving of my hatred. Um, thank you all who tapped in. Visit Ashley's website. Pay Ashley money. Uh, if you have a audio fiction project, I'm sure Ashley would love for money to do that. Uh,
Yep.
look,
Yep.
Ashley takes all money. Ashley got bills to pay. Not all money. Not all money's good money, but money for appropriate projects.
Yes.
Uh, so look, sometimes I have to clarify because then they go, Crystal said you took all money. So uh, thank you all for joining us. I will chat with y'all tomorrow, hopefully in community. Uh, anything you want to tell these people, Ashley?
No, just thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, I will see you guys way more often now at the Black Podcasters Association stuff. Truly.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna do it for real. And Adele, I'm gonna call you for real. Like I'm not like yes.
Adele, she actually gonna call you.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.